In this unit of our AI Power Training and Design course, we're going to talk about choosing AI tools that work for you in order to create those accessible learning environments. So, how do we discover and select, then evaluate the various AI tools that you have at your disposal to really enhance accessibility in education and training settings? This guide and this module is going to help you consider what to do with the tools that you have available to you to consider how is this going to promote inclusivity and accessibility in all environments for the students and learners that you're working with. So the importance of AI selection is, one, you want to enhance inclusivity as much as possible. So well-chosen AI tools can help remove barriers and create more accessible learning experiences. But you also want to avoid some pitfalls. Poor AI selection and implementation may introduce new obstacles, hindering rather than helping learners. Some of these obstacles are whether or not you, as the person implementing them, actually understand what's going on. So again, we want to make sure that we're not replacing human experience or expertise. We are enhancing that human experience and expertise with these tools. We're not just throwing something into ChatGPT, creating an outline, creating PowerPoint slides with no review or updates or anything. We want to make sure that when we do create these templates, create these notes, create these outlines, that you're still looking at what these things are. And most importantly, you have to understand how to use it. You have to be able to have the approach. You have to be able to have the know-how on how you're actually going to implement these processes here. So key considerations for your tool selection in general. What are some goals and features of that tool itself? Is it something that creates transcriptions? Is it something that creates PowerPoint slides? What does it do, and how does that fit within your learning style? And how does that fit within the goal that you're trying to do in training your people? What kind of compatibility is there? So check out to see if it works with current assistive technologies. There are plenty of things that are really, really cool. They look nice, but maybe a screen reader can't access this. You know, maybe you're creating a video for a particular thing or a particular training, but there's no option to put captions on there. Because of those considerations, you shouldn't be using those tools. You should be using tools that allow you to create these accessible and perceptible environments that everybody can have. So the accuracy and reliability component of this too is the information that you're putting in correct, and is the output correct enough that you can edit it and go through? There are plenty of AI tools I have used where, as a content expert in the areas of accessibility, disability stigma, and so on, there are many, many things that these AI tools get wrong. And there are some AI tools that are so far off that I don't even use those tools anymore. So when you're looking at something, you have to make sure that it's getting close enough that you, as subject matter expert, can go in, fix, and adjust for those things and go on. And the final thing is that cost and user experience. Consider your budget constraints, especially if you're implementing something new that your company hasn't totally supported yet, or you don't have the finances to be able to utilize some of these tools. How are you going to leverage the free things that are there, to create your process around the free things, to share the information that you have with whoever makes those decisions, so that as you are moving forward and as you're getting better at these tools, or you have more access to funds, you can get the things that maybe are more specific and more effective for you. But until then, how are you going to use the things that you have currently? And with that user experience component is, although you might think it's really cool and interactive and fun and so on, if it's not that way for the people that you're working with, don't do it. You have to make sure that the individuals you're trying to teach are actually going to engage with this material too. So when you're evaluating things, you want to test with real scenarios. So when available, try to think of a particular training you have and use that AI tool to say, okay, how can I use this tool in this specific training situation to make it easier for me to put these things together, but helps to reduce the amount of time I have to take to make these trainings while still achieving the training goal, right? How do you validate then afterwards the accessibility features? So ensuring captions, alt text on pictures, and so on, and other features to meet these standards. What consultants are you working with to make sure that these accessibility standards are actually being utilized. So for example, our company does a lot of this work as well, but there's plenty of professionals out there and plenty of community members that are willing to do this. Just make sure that you're compensating those folks for their time. This shouldn't just be a free thing that happens on side work or whatever. Like if you have an individual in your company that is really vested in creating these trainings with you, make sure that they're compensated as such, either financially, maybe they get time off, maybe that's built into their workload or so on. Don't just build your trainings off the backs of other individuals. The third thing is, does it align with your goals? So can you confirm the tools support your overall accessibility objectives? What are you trying to accomplish? What tool does this specifically accomplish for you in doing that goal? If it's just something that's fun and doesn't really accomplish anything, don't spend the time to use it right now. You only got so much time in the day. Use that on your own time. Make sure that as you're putting these trainings together, the tools that you are using are actually directly having a positive effect on the things that you're trying to do. And then finally, how do you refine and adapt these things, continuously improve? Just because you use these tools and you created a training doesn't mean your job's over now. You have to make sure that these things are actually producing the results that you're looking for, that are actually making it so that the people learning the materials can learn and retain and use the information that you're trying to give those folks and give your trainers that you're working with, right? So getting that feedback, refining along the way, maybe new AI tools pop up over time and you utilize those and you keep trying. This training component is not just, look, we created a training and now that's what it's going to be for the next 5 years. Don't do that. Make sure that your trainings are updating as much as possible, and AI can really help with that. So it's not saying that this takes too long to put together, and it still might take time, but AI can help reduce some of that time so that your subject approaches and the way that you're showing this and engaging other people can be the focus. So when you're trying to implement some of these best practices, I want you to start small. Begin with one tool and gradually expand your AI toolkit yourself. If you're not familiar with AI, use one simple thing. Use one free thing at first and then move on, right? So you don't want to say, I need to use these 6 tools. That can be very daunting and you might make mistakes along the way. Additionally, try to bring in a team as much as possible. Ensure that all educators and trainers are comfortable using the chosen AI tools. Maybe you found something. You put together a quick little pilot training. You say, hey, I think this is cool. Here's why. Bring it back to your team of whoever makes those decisions as well. Gather feedback as the next piece, not just from your team, but from maybe a small pilot set of learners. Like, let's say you're at a large organization with 10,000 people across many different states and so on. Maybe you do a small pilot study with only 1 or 2 people at each location and say, okay, well, how was your experience during this and what can we do to change this before you start rolling it out at company level? I can't stress enough, please, please, please do the feedback and alter before you send out to the rest of the company. I've seen too many times people taking the initial training that they have, saying it's good enough, applying it, and there's tons of errors in these things. And it ultimately leads to poor training, which leads to really poor outcomes for individuals and for the company as well. And then stay updated. So keep abreast on the new AI developments in educational accessibility and training accessibility. That's the whole reason why I started this company for Tech Inclusion Pro. Keep up to date with what's available. Things are moving at a rapid pace. So make sure that, okay, this tool that you're using now works totally well. Why do you like it? And we'll have some assignments associated with this in this course. What is great about this tool? What is not so great about this tool? So then when other tools pop up or updates pop up, you know kind of what you're looking for. So then as you're building your own AI accessibility toolkit, right, how do you evaluate to use provided checklists to assess AI tools? How do you implement and integrate those chosen tools into your teaching and training practices? And how do you refine those tools to continuously improve based on the feedback and results that you get?